testimony off with a verse. It says, "Come in here, all you who fear God, and I will tell you what he has done for my soul." Psalm 66:16. And I chose this verse because telling my story is showing what God has done for my soul. So here we go. God has been there with me through it all and delivered me from so much. At a young age, I knew that God was with me. The older I got, my faith in him grew stronger, and trials and tribulations started to come my way. God shows his strength through the trials that weaken us. May 9th, 2007 was the day that my mom, my sister, and I were in a car accident. The day of the accident, it was raining and we were hit from behind from an 18-wheeler. The van we were in flipped up in the air. My sister flew out of the window and the van landed on top of her. I remember looking down and seeing my sister covered in blood, pinned underneath this heavy van, and immediately jumping down from the passenger side. After unfastening my seatbelt, my mom and I were trying to yell for help, and I even began to bang on the windshield while my mom began to pray these words, "Lord Jesus, please help me." In that moment, out of nowhere, 4 construction workers, along with the man and his son, were outside of the van lifting it up just enough for us to crawl out of it. We were all taken in an ambulance to the hospital, and a few hours later, my sister was transferred to the Dallas Children's Medical Center because of the severity of her injuries. She was 6 years old at the time and is 16 years old now. She had to have over 150 stitches in her head, on her face, and on her arm. She also had a fractured collarbone, pelvic bone, and faced the possibility of being completely paralyzed and even death. During the first few days in the hospital, she had to lay completely flat and straight with a neck brace on while having to be completely still because of the doctor's concerns. By the power of prayer and God's grace, Sierra, my sister, was released from the hospital within 5 days. To this day, I am living proof that God has a purpose for everything. I left the accident with no visible injuries, and my mom had a couple of bruises and scratches. The fact that we are here today is a miracle beyond our comprehension, and that situation made my faith even stronger. One of the hardest struggles I have faced and still face is the fact that my dad has been absent from our lives for about 6 years now. He is an alcoholic, and he struggled with his addiction from a young age. I struggled with seeing what alcohol did to him, and knowing that there was nothing in my power that I could do or say to help him. Even though it was hard to realize, deep down I knew that he chose that addiction over us, because that's all he knew. Alcohol was in control of his life, and he let it take over. It is hard seeing someone you love and care about so much trying to drink their pain away. I love my dad so much, and I know that there is still hope for him. No one is ever too far gone. I will never give up on him, and I will continue to pray for him, because that is all I can do. It is in God's hands, and I have to put all my faith and trust in him. It is when I gave it to God and trusted him with everything that I gave it to God and trusted him with everything that I had, that he started working in my life even more and placed before me an opportunity to work with children at the Highway 80 Rescue Mission. The journey began the summer of 2014. My mom found a newspaper that had information about being a summer missionary for homeless or at-risk children. She put up an application, and I wasn't sure of the outcome, but I filled it out anyway. I turned it in, and a few hours later I received a call saying I got an interview. At that time I was 16, and it was the first job I applied for, so I was nervous. I went to the interview not sure how I did, but was told that I would receive a call letting me know if I got the job or not. On the way home from the interview, I saw something written on an electric box, and it said, "Those who seek." I knew that was a sign from God. I had to be patient and wait Monday through Friday to see if I got a call. I didn't receive a call until Friday, and I wasn't sure that I was going to get the job. So Friday, I happened to take a nap, and I woke up last minute to a phone call informing me I had a job. I was filled with excitement. I became a summer missionary the summer of 2014, and the kids changed my life and my perspective on everything. I knew after that summer that working with kids was my calling, and my purpose in life was found. I was blessed with the opportunity to work there for summer 2014, 2015, and 2016. I plan on continuing my journey working with children. I currently work full-time at the First Baptist Daycare. My story is so unique and beautiful, not because of anything I have done, but all because of the fact that my loving Father, Jesus Christ, gave me my story to tell. I am where I am today and who I am today, all because of everything Christ has done for me. Sometimes all we can see is the struggle, but it is when we fix our eyes on the Lord that we begin to have peace that surpasses all understanding. I am satisfied knowing that I am a daughter of the King and knowing that my life is in His hands. This is my story, and God's not through with me yet.
Amen.